Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. This is Female Dwarf Noble Rogue, episode 26. And I've been away for some time, I haven't uploaded in a while, sorry about that. Had some personal business to take care of, but I'm good to go now. So let's get started. When we last left, I think we've basically taken care of everything. I don't think anybody has anything to say right now except for Shale. But first, let's talk to Bodon real quick and unload some inventory.
Are you sure I can't interest you in this hat? A pair of earrings, perhaps? A cheese knife?
Let me see your wares, Bodon.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Okay, here we go. Just need to get rid of a few things here from our last adventure. Keep the tomes. Get rid of these weapons. Huh. That's funny. Bodon just offered me a cheese knife, and here I am selling him none other than a cheese knife. It's pretty funny. Some upgrade for Win. And Morrigan as well. So we'll just keep those for now, those two robes. Okay, we got some gifts there. Okay, so that's a good idea. We can give some gifts away. Some crystals for Shale. These are her weapons and armor. I'll give her the nature one for now, I guess. I like to give her the spirit crystals, the large spirit crystal and the small spirit crystal. Well, we'll give her the nature ones for now. Okay, that's it. Okay, so let's do a gear check on Shale here. What's she wearing? Oh, she's already wearing one spirit crystal. Okay, so we'll just give her the nature one and the spirit one, and when I get another spirit crystal, then I'll add it instead. Okay, what else we got going on here? Gifts. Let's give gifts. I think I have one for Ogren. Where is he? Of course, the last one I choose. Wilhelm's Special Brew.
That looks fine indeed.
Okay, everything else is for Shale, I believe.
Ooh, shiny. Ooh, shiny. Very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. Very nice indeed.
Okay, so that takes care of all of that. Got some approvals there. Alright, now it's time to, we're just going to exhaust all the conversations with Shale that we can have at this time, I believe. Yeah. Let's go ahead and grab a quick save, and we'll just sit here and talk to Shale for a while.
I see it found some augmentation crystals. I was not even aware it knew about them. Well done. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is.
No, they're quite slimming.
It must be the vertical pattern it put them in. Did it know to do that? It must have. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak.
Okay. Let's quick save and keep talking. Oh, you know what I was thinking? And I wanted to mention this. I was thinking that as many years as I've been playing this game, I haven't thought of this. I mean, it just didn't dawn on me. But there is probably a better way to go about having the conversations with each party member. And what I like to do is I bunch it all up at these times when we go to camp, and I just exhaust every conversation. And there's probably a much nicer way to do it while you're out in the world traveling, and you can probably have one conversation at a time per area, and it would probably flow with the story much better. But I didn't even think of that for this playthrough. Maybe I'll test that out on future playthroughs or something. But anyways, let's just keep on doing what we're doing here.
I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them.
That's super. Thanks, Shale.
Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings?
Oh, well, I am a member of House Aeducan, in fact.
Then that must be it. My experience with dwarves is limited, but obviously I need to encounter more of them. Other than Ogren. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless.
Oh, yeah, we wouldn't want that.
Indeed. Can it imagine the horror? Oh. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought.
Pretty funny. Okay, keep talking.
It speaks.
You're still with me, I see.
Yes, its adventures are interesting, even if the chances for success are remarkably slim. It would be better to throw oneself off a cliff, I suspect. Does it wish me to leave? I can, though I see no reason to go.
No, stay. You're quite helpful.
No doubt. Without me, it would have to carry its inventory on its own. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling.
Oh, we didn't get any approval for that? Okay. Keep talking.
It speaks.
I would have expected golems to be different.
Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, master, I exist to serve the master. I shall kill for the master and only for the master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks, if it likes.
Are they dirty limericks?
Mostly they involve slaughtering pigeons in creative and invasive manners. I have never met another golem. I have no idea what one might be like, or why I wouldn't be like them. Why? Has it met other golems? Did they not sound as I do?
Oh, being different isn't so bad.
Did I say it was bad? Huh. It thinks I hang on its every word, waiting for approval. I don't know what other golems might be like, but I am already superior by virtue of my free will. This is a good thing.
I agree. Being a golem would be handy.
Imagine the benefits. No need to eat or sleep or perform other functions. Walk underwater, crush the heads of every opponent. The possibilities are limitless. Barring the occasional 30 years or so of paralysis, there's little to compare. Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting.
Okay, let's keep going.
It speaks.
I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
Are those crystals in your skin?
I like to think of them as accessories.
But what do they do?
I suspect that it is an art that was practiced when golems were more, commonplace. My former master collected whatever lore he could find on the subject. He searched far and wide to collect what crystals he could and then added them. It is not an unpleasant sensation.
So it's a dwarven thing, then?
So I would assume. My former master enjoyed poking around the ruins in the deep roads after all, and bartering with others who did. As I understand it, the crystals allow me to alter the flow of magic around me. Wilhelm had hoped to turn me into a battery of mana, something he could tap at will.
Did he succeed?
Not really, although now that I think of it, these attempts may be what caused my disruption. Some of the crystals increase the presence of mana, some absorb or reflect spells. There are various kinds. All I can promise is that should it ever find one of these crystals, I can likely tell it the function and what it would do if added to me.
Oh, would you be willing to have more added?
Why not? I don't get to wear clothing and other adornments like the rest of you creatures after all. That answers its question, I assume. Unless it has more.
How did you end up in Hanleith? Do you remember?
Oh yes, that I remember quite well. My former master, the mage Wilhelm, he brought me. As I recall, he had acquired some position with whatever lord ruled the land. I, being little more than a glorified possession at the time, was brought along. Oh, how he enjoyed impressing the villagers with me. Gollum snarl at that villager there, be fearsome. And of course, I would have to do it.
I'm gonna say, I would have thought that you'd enjoy scaring humans.
I'd have happily stomped them all into paste, and then ripped down their little houses and stomped on them, too. In fact, after 30 years of watching them, I'd do it twice. What I didn't like was being ordered to do it. Dangled in front of those frightened morons like some scary thing. Once I was a statue, it took those villagers years before they'd even approach me. The first one to actually work up the nerve to touch me urinated himself. Ugh.
Okay. But why were you out in front of that tower?
That is where Wilhelm kept me. He wanted me out in the open where I could be frightening like a scarecrow. I was supposed to watch for thieves. Pah! Plus, his wife didn't want me indoors. She said there wasn't room for me. Hag.
His wife?
I was once larger, 10 feet tall. Then the loathsome hag complained that I couldn't fit through the doors. So the mage had me shrunk down. Can it believe it? And she still wanted me out.
How does one shrink a golem?
With a chisel. And a lot of nerve.
Yikes. Do you remember anything before Hanleith?
I traveled with the mage. He did a lot of traveling, I remember that. But where we went, it is rather fuzzy. I remember great battles, fighting many humans long ago. They were all very soft and squishy. And before that, No, there are only images. I was somewhere dark.
Just how old are you exactly?
I have no idea. Wilhelm used to brag that the dwarves stopped making golems centuries ago. I do not age as you soft creatures do. Sadly, my memory is no better. Plus, I get bored and stop paying attention.
So you didn't like this Wilhelm, I take it?
He did love using that control rod. Fondled it so much his wife actually threatened to throw it in the lake. Ha! I would have liked to have seen that. Which reminds me, where did it find the rod? Did it pay a great deal for it?
Oh, yes. Fortune, in fact.
Good. Clearly, I am worth it.
Interesting. Okay, well, I'm done asking about all that.
Good. I was just about done talking about it. It does like to have a good chat now and again, doesn't it?
Indeed it does. Okay, let's keep talking.
It speaks.
I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
So, I'm told you killed your former master.
Oh, how interesting. Certainly I remember having a master. My memories of what happened to him are vague.
Vague, but not non-existent.
Clever and true. Oh, very well. Let me see what I can recall. My former master enjoyed experimenting upon me. I remember that much. There was tinkering with spells, and then the crystals. He was very eager to alter my function, I think.
Alter you? Why? You're fine as you are.
Flattery, and obvious flattery, too. I feel warm and fuzzy inside. He possessed my control rod, and back then, it would have prevented me from doing anything he did not command me to, no matter how I might have wished to. So what happened? I am unsure. He was experimenting, and then nothing.
Are you sure? Nothing at all?
There was pain. I do not feel it as soft creatures do, so the memory is an odd one. And then he was gone. I was standing where I was, in the village, and I could no longer move. The villagers came, poked and prodded me in fear, and then realized they could neither move me nor destroy me, so they simply left me. And in time I forgot I hadn't stood there all along.
Wow. That must have been terrible. I'm sorry.
In fact, at first I found it more of a relief. For so many years I'd had to leap to that little toadstool's every command. Get this, pick up that, put it down, pick it up again. The gall! At first I'd hoped he'd simply decided to leave me there paralyzed, an acceptable trade-off. After years passed, I simply stopped caring.
Sounds like you had a good rest.
I think I was ready to move on. Another few years and the moss would have covered my face. And then where would I have been? Whatever the mage did seemed to render the control rod useless, for which I should be thankful, yes? And provided it doesn't decide to copy his experiments, not that I would allow it, it is nothing to fear from me. Much.
Just try it, Gollum. I'm no mage.
So I have come to realize. If that was not the case, I would have gone elsewhere by now. Doesn't knowing that make it feel good? Let us get back to the walking and the fighting. My stone is beginning to itch again.
Lots of approval on that one. Alright. Let's keep going.
It speaks.
I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
So, how did Wilhelm come to acquire you?
That part I know, as Wilhelm often bragged about it to whomever was willing to listen to him. He claimed to have found me in the deep roads. I was in the ruins of a Tig, he said, deactivated, with my control rod not far away.
Oh, do you know where in the deep roads this was?
No, that secretive bastard refused to tell me. I would ask and ask, but no. He used to say that one day, if I were compliant and didn't talk back at his wife, he would take me there and I could look around myself. Rotten, lying bastard. If I had his head in my hands now, I would squeeze it like a giant lemon. Squish.
What was Wilhelm doing in the deep roads?
It was a hobby of his, scavenging. One of the reasons he traveled so much is that he was looking for entrances into the deep roads, old places the dwarves had long forgotten. And then he would sneak down and search for magical treasure, before anyone was the wiser.
I see. Wouldn't that have been dangerous?
Indeed. He had spells that allowed him to remain hidden and move quickly. but he had no defense against the blight and worried constantly that he would get sick. If any darkspawn showed themselves, he fled. More often, he would have to fight other scavengers, dwarfs who had become tainted. In the end, it killed him. I mean, he found me there, right?
You don't know why you were there?
I think I remember a battle. It was long before, and then there was darkness. Ah, in short, no, I do not remember why I was there. It makes no difference.
So, if he hadn't found you...
I wouldn't have had to put up with the twit, and I would be none the wiser. I don't think I was aware while I was there. Not like in the village. Or perhaps I was. Perhaps that was the dark place, and I simply couldn't see anything. How long could even I sit in the darkness and stare out at nothing, never sleeping? Oh, I do not wish to think of that.
Indeed. Well, let's just move on then.
On then.
Okay. I think that is everything that Shale says, but I'm going to check once more.
It speaks.
I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
You watched that village day and night for years?
I do not sleep, so yes, and I thank it for reminding me. Try to imagine, if it will, what it would be like to be surrounded by nothing but boring peasants, all oblivious to it.
Yeah, that would be rather horrid.
And then there were the birds. A whole village full of pigeons and ravens and sparrows all perching on me day in and day out.
Yeah, that sounds a little messy.
Those foolish villagers would spread birdseed near me, drawing the birds, because they thought having birds perch on me was quaint. Quaint! If there hadn't been the occasional kind soul to scour me clean, I don't care to discuss this anymore.
A little bit of approval there. Alright, let's quick save. And once more.
It speaks.
I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
You don't seem to like humans much.
That is true. I do not. I'm not interested in getting into a discussion on the subject, however. Ask another time. If it is done asking overly obvious questions, let us find some humans to throw off a cliff, or something.
No approval for that. Okay, let's quick save. Okay, so I think the conversations with Shale have been exhausted. We've talked to her as much as we can. Let's take a look at her approval. She's at 100. Can't get any higher than that. We haven't done her personal quest just yet, so she's still at the warm status rather than, what is it, friendly? I think it turns into friendly once you finish their personal quest. What else have we got before it's time to go to bed, go to sleep? Let's do a level check. Okay, my character is 13. Shale is 13. Ogren is 13. Morgan is 12. Zevran is 13. Sten is 12. Barkspawn is 13. Liliana is 12. Wynn is 13. And Alistair is 12. Okay, so it looks like most of us are 13. Let's look at the gear thing. Okay, everybody should be in tier 4. The people that are level 12 should still be in tier 3, but you know what? I'm not gonna discriminate. I'm just gonna give everybody tier 4. So we'll break out the upgrade wand here, tier 4. Make it tier 4. And then we'll just go around and zap everybody with it, including Shale and myself and Morrigan and Sten. And Ogren. And Wynn. And Liliana.
As you desire.
And Zevran.
Of course.
And Alistair.
Well, all right.
Okay, that's it. We've exhausted all of our conversations. We've done a level check and a gear check on everybody. And everybody's all set up where they need to be set up. I'm going to grab a quick save. And it's time to go to bed. Do you want someone to share your bed? Yes, invite a companion. Invite Alistair. Alright guys, keep it PG-13 now. They still got their underwear on, so I don't want nobody freaking out on me here. The reason I say that every time is because there is an actual mod out there where you can make them completely naked, but we won't talk about that. I will not mention it here. Okay, so what should we do here? You know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and conclude episode 26 right here. This was kind of a short episode, but hey, this is a great place to hard save it, and it's a great place to start fresh on episode 27. So I'm going to just grab a hard save here. We got camp, camp, camp. We got like 4 camps in a row. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, folks.